Hello friends, today we are going to learn the extra question answers of chapter number 12, Reproduction in Plants. Question number 1, give differences between asexual and sexual reproduction. Answer, in asexual reproduction, the new individual is produced by a single parent. Seeds are not produced and there is no union of gametes, sex cells. The new individual is identical to the parent. In sexual reproduction, fusion of two types of gametes takes place. Two parents takes parts in the formation of gametes and new individuals are produced from these. It is not identical to the parents. It has features of both parents. Question number 2. Describe the different methods of asexual reproduction, giving examples and diagrams. There are many methods of asexual reproduction in plants. These include budding, fragmentation, spore formation, and vegetative propagation. Budding. It is commonly seen in yeast. A small bulb-like projection called the bud is formed in the body. The bud grows in size and finally detaches itself from the parent body. Fragmentation. Fragmentation is a very common method of reproduction in filamentous algae such as Pyrogyra. When food material is available, algae grow and multiply by fragmentation. Spore formation. Ferns, mosses, and many fungi reproduce through spore formation. Spores are very small bodies having thick protective walls. The thick walls help them to survive unfavorable conditions like extreme temperatures, lack of food and water. These spores form new organisms when conditions are favorable. Vegetative propagation. When new plants can be obtained from roots, stems, leaves or buds without the help of any reproductive organs, it is called vegetative propagation. Question number 3. What are the advantages of vegetative propagation? Plants produced by this method take less time to grow and bear flowers and fruit faster than those produced from seeds. Seedless plants can be obtained. Plants produced are exact copies of the parent plant. No variations are present. Question number 4. Draw and explain the reproductive parts of a flower. Each stamen has two parts, a long stalk called the filament and a swollen structure present at the tip of the filament called the anther. The anther produces a powdery substance which consists of very minute pollen grains. Pollen grains are the male gametes. Pollen grains have a tough protective coat. The coat prevents them from drying up. They are also very light and can be carried easily by wind or water. A pistil consists of ovary, style and stigma. Ovary is the basal swollen portion. It continues into a long style which ends in a knob-like part called the stigma. The ovary contains one or more ovules. The female gamete, also called the egg, is formed inside the ovule. Question number 5. Give the differences between self-pollination and cross-pollination. Self-pollination. In self-pollination, pollen grains are transferred from an anther to the stigma of the same flower or other flowers on the same plant. Cross-pollination. when the pollen grains are transferred from the anther to the stigma of a flower on another plant of the same kind, it is called cross-pollination. Question number 6. What happens during fertilization in plants? Answer. During fertilization, the following events occurs. After landing on the stigma, the pollen grains germinate and produce their tubes. These tubes are called pollen tubes. They carry the male gamete. Only one pollen tube reaches the ovule. Female gamete is present inside the ovule. Finally, the male gamete fuses with the female gamete. Thus, fertilization occurs. Question number 7. Describe the various ways by which seeds are dispersed. By wind, winged seeds, maple, hairy seeds, sunflower, light seeds, grasses. By water, floating, coconut, fruit bursts. By bursting, castor, balsam. Question number 8. Describe the functions of the following. Stamens produce anther. Ovary provides ovules. Stigma help in fertilization. Pollen tube help in transfer of pollen to stigma. Question number 9. Label the given diagram and mention the function of each of the given part. The pollen grains germinate and produce their tubes. These tubes are called pollen tubes. The pollen grains germinate and produce their tubes. These tubes are called pollen tubes. They carry the male gamete. Only one pollen tube reaches the ovule. Female gamete is present inside the ovule. Thank you, friends. Bye-bye.